Ghosts, spirits, poltergeists, demons. Do they exist? Is there life after life? Are there unseen entities around us? Can they communicate? Do you believe? What happens in the shadows doesn't always stay in the shadows. Live from Northwest Georgia, covering the region and beyond, this is Georgia Paranormal Radio. And now, here is your host, Mike Watkins.
Well, hello there, and welcome to Georgia Paranormal Radio, the final word. This is Mike Watkins, and I was your host for all the episodes that ran from 2006 until 2008, and I'll be your host and only voice for this final episode, episode 36 chronologically. I'm not going to take too much of your time with this podcast, this show. I'm not really going to discuss anything paranormal or ghost hunting related. I am just going to take a few minutes to wrap things up and give the show its final goodbye. It may be about 7 years too late, but the show was important to me. It was important to a lot of people, and it deserves the final farewell, as it were. And there's some people that I would like to thank. I'll kind of begin by mentioning some of the accomplishments that we had with the Northwest Georgia Paranormal Investigation team, as well as Georgia Paranormal Radio, which was the voice of that team. The show quickly evolved, though, into being the voice of a lot of different people. And we accomplished a lot in our short run. We had some mentions in local press. We even had some TV appearances. Some of our audio and EVP evidence was shared, discussed on a live talk radio program out of Atlanta. It opened a lot of doors to investigations and cooperative ventures with other paranormal teams in the region. And we got included in a book, Ghost Hunters of the South, by Professor Alan Brown. But more importantly than that, it gave us not really a pulpit or a podium, but it gave us a chance to reach out and to make friends across the paranormal community. The show didn't have fans. The show had friends, and whether those friends were just listeners and just kind of enjoyed the banter between myself and my guests, or if they were ghost hunters who were looking to us for ideas and information, things of that nature. We had a lot of friends of the show, and we made an impact. And it was very special to me, and it was very special to a lot of people. As special as the show was, it was being done at a time that was full of transition and change and awakening for myself and for most of the people involved. As the show progressed, it got harder and harder to find material and guests. Work was very consuming. Personal lives were very consuming. And like I say, it was a time of transition and change for myself and for many people involved. Unfortunately, the show passed before its time, so to say, as well as the paranormal team, the Northwest Georgia Paranormal Investigation team. It sort of went away before its time. But nonetheless, it made a decent impact, I think, and has found almost a new outlet here on YouTube. I have recently converted the old podcast audio episodes into video files and uploaded them all onto YouTube so that they'll be there for posterity's sake. And they've actually found a new following. So it's kind of gratifying that people appreciate our work, even 7-8 years later. But nonetheless, the show has passed its prime and passed its day, and the team has dissolved and went its separate ways. I would like to, to kind of move into the thanking portion of this and begin to wrap this short little message up. I would really, really like to thank all of the members of the Northwest Georgia Paranormal Investigation Team for supporting the investigations to gather the evidence that we shared on the show, for supporting me time-wise and effort-wise in doing the show. I would specifically like to thank some of the guests, well actually all the guests that we had on the show. We had folks like Joey Ward from West Georgia Paranormal, Heidi Brumbelow from East Georgia Paranormal, Marty Seibel from Shenandoah Valley Paranormal. We had a psychic on the show, Barb Powell, from, I believe she's from Saskatoon up in Canada. We even had a quite famous author and researcher, Jeff Belanger, on the show. And I definitely appreciate the time that they gave me and the attention that they lent us for our brief talks that we had. It was very good of them to give of their time and energies to make a show for us. The two biggest thanks that I would like to give are to Cindy Westbrooks and to David Westbrooks. They sort of were guests. Initially, they were reluctant guests coming on and talking about hot topics and EVPs, things of that nature. And as the show progressed, more and more and more people wanted to hear from Cindy and David, so they sort of became not guests but co-hosts with me. And I really want to give them the thanks and the kudos that they deserve for being a huge part of the show and a huge part of its success. Sadly, I've lost touch with a lot of people who were in the team and who were a part of the show, and time has a way of making us lose touch with friends and family, and it's been difficult. I miss them, but I wish them well and everything that they're doing. But since the show has been over, I've actually since moved on from working in law enforcement. I actually went back to working in management and customer service, and actually left the state of Georgia. I now live in Tennessee, and so this is not even really being recorded in Georgia. It's actually being recorded in my apartment in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I apologize for the bad audio. It's don't have the software, the microphones, or anything like that anymore than I used to for the old show. But so definitely things have changed and folks have moved on. But I do wish them well. They were an integral part of our success and of the show being as popular as it was. And they definitely deserve kudos. So David and Cindy, if you hear this, thank you for everything that you did. Beyond that, the only folks that I want to say thank you to and bid farewell to is you. It's the listeners. Without you, we would not have been what we were, and which was a homegrown podcast / radio show that was done out of a spare bedroom office in a small subdivision in a small northwest Georgia town. We grew from having just a couple of listeners to the first few episodes to by the time we were done, we were averaging 1,000 listeners for the first week. When an episode was launched, we would have around 1,000 listeners, and in the grand scheme of things, 1,000 listeners is probably not a lot, but to me, that's a huge number, and that's amazing. So my kudos to you, the friends of the show who listened to us ramble on for each episode and gave us your time and your energy and your support. So thank you very much for that. And that, as they say, is that. That's really all I wanted to say. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your indulgence. Thank you again for the support, for the newfound support that we have on YouTube. But that's really all I wanted to say. So thank you very much. And do remember the show kindly, and remember the old host kindly, if you would. Definitely stay safe out there, friends. It was a good adventure, and it was fun, and that's it. Be looking for a novel from me to come out here in the next, hopefully the next, 6 to 8 months. I'll post a little something about it on YouTube, on the channel, whenever I do release my novel. It's a science fiction, time travel, kind of law enforcement adventure sort of thing. So it might be interesting, might be worth a read. So be looking for that, and I'll post a little information about it whenever it's done and available. But again, thank you so much for your time, your indulgence. Thank you so much for your friendship over the years. And I hope you stay safe out there. Take an extra few seconds and do things right and get home safe. And yeah, that's it. Farewell, everybody.
Child, retire, protest, live wire, check up, smoke up, break up, look down. We are 6 feet underground. We are 6 feet underground. We are 6 feet underground.